India clearly at the receiving end of terror groups, but there are several theories that are doing the rounds on the blast that shook Hyderabad yesterday, and one is that it could have been triggered to avenge 2001 Parliament attack convict Afzal Guru's hanging. Well, the other theory that is doing the round is that it was to avenge 2611 terrorist Ajmal Kasab's hanging. Also, the blast could have been a reaction to some recent venomous political statements that were made in Hyderabad. The possibility of a Telangana agitation linked to the blast is also doing the rounds. My colleague Marooq Inayat now joins us live from Hyderabad with the latest. Marooq, you were bringing to us the latest pictures from the blast site. Home Minister Sushil Kumar Shinde visiting the blast site this morning, taking stock of the situation. Any more leads that are emerging and pointing towards a specific group?
Well, Ruchika, first let me give you a sense on the viewers of where exactly I am at this point. I'm about a few meters away from the blast site, the second blast site. In fact, both are about 100 to 150 meters away from each other. You can still see members of the National Investigative Team as well as NSG members who are here looking at the blast site and collecting the forensics of this particular blast. This is the second blast site right in front of the Konark Theatre. Which is in the Dilsukh area of Hyderabad, or Dilsukh Nagar area of Hyderabad. This happened about 12 hours ago, and like you mentioned, 12 hours later, there are some leads. But what is interesting at this point is that none of the authorities, no agency is actually coming out and pinpointing, or rather saying perhaps which terror group could be behind it, even though there are some very stark similarities to some of the terror attacks that have happened in the past, and many naming the Indian Mujahideen as possibly the terror group that could have been behind. But just before we speak to Sudhir, who has a sense of exactly what's happening on the ground, just to give you a sense of, like I was telling you, where I am, this is the blast site to my right, and to my left is the National Highway. Where the traffic has now been eased up. It had been stopped earlier today, just before the Home Minister's visit. And right across is the Dilsukh Nagar bus station. So this is really an entry point into Hyderabad, as is seen by most, and by the number of people that you see today also, a lot of curious onlookers and bystanders standing here. And perhaps one of the reasons why this was chosen by terrorists as the area for the terror strike is because, as Sudhir will tell you, this is one area, Sudhir, clearly, which is teeming with people at all times, and especially in the evenings, with a number of coaching centers that we see here, ideal for such a strike.
Absolutely. In fact, Dilsukh Nagar, for those not familiar with Hyderabad, it's on the southeast part of Hyderabad, and in a sense, it is the entry point into Hyderabad from the Vijayawada side. And it attracts a lot of outsiders, from people from outside the district, people coming in for education, a lot of students. In fact, we met students at the hospital last night who were injured and who were undergoing surgery. So in a sense, given the fact that a lot of outsiders actually come into Dilsukh Nagar area, it would have been pretty easy for an outsider perhaps to come and plant this kind of a terror attack here in an area like this. Dilsukh Nagar, remember, in 2002 November also has had a history with terror attack when a scooter bomb was planted at the Sai Baba temple and it killed 2 people. So given this kind of a history, given this kind of a context, given this kind of a geography of the Dilsukh Nagar area, the crowds, in a sense, it was a sitting duck for a terror attack like this. Also, the fact that there was no specific intelligence input specifying that this could be under attack has also led the Andhra Pradesh police to take it easy. There was a general be alert kind of a notice which was sent by the central government to many cities, including Hyderabad, other cities like Nanded and Bangalore, after the Afzal Guru hanging. As a result of that very non-specific nature of that alert, the Andhra Pradesh police did not really take it very seriously.
That's right. That's raising a number of questions there, Sudhir. And we've seen a blame game start almost instantly after the blast came out. Not just the opposition attacking the government, but also the kind of blame game that we've seen between the centre and the state. The state saying that we didn't have any specific alert or intelligence input, and the centre, on the other hand, saying that yes, we had indicated. But the Home Minister pretty much leaving it out in the open, that the intelligence input was not very specific. What are you hearing from your sources?
Absolutely. In fact, senior cops who I have been speaking to, they say there was no specific intelligence input. Also, given the fact that the last terror strike in Hyderabad was in May, when it saw 3 terror strikes, 1 in May and 2 in August, over 50 people were killed, and Andhra Pradesh and Hyderabad has seen a period of relative calm since then, almost for the last 6 years. almost leads one to believe that the Andhra Pradesh police was taking it easy. It believed that it had neutralized most of the sleeper cells which were there in some pockets of Hyderabad and also some districts in and around Hyderabad. So essentially the Andhra Pradesh police really taken by surprise. In fact, one senior police officer said, we are literally groping in the dark.
Right.
Also, very significant, Maruk, is the fact why Hyderabad was chosen. In the last 3 months, we have seen a lot of communal tension. In November, there was communal tension over the Bhagyalakshmi temple, which abuts the Charminar, and also after the hate speeches given by Akbaruddin Owaisi, the FIM leader, and BHP leader Praveen Togadia in the last 2 months, there have been this kind of tension, communal tension in different pockets of the old city, and this seems to be an attempt to take advantage of those kind of fissures, and depending on who the police names, to probably create more fissures between the two communities.
Right. So Ritika, clearly at this point there are some leads, but perhaps we'll get a better idea after the Home Minister Sushil Kumar Shinde addresses the press, which should happen in the next few minutes.